Welcome to yet another edition of the BigJoe Corner. And of course, this is an unusual edition of the BigJoe Corner. We're in very different times, very unusual times, very challenging times. And of course, the BigJoe Corner has not been spared by COVID and the prevailing times. Remember, COVID has knocked us, each one of us, into a corner, into a hiding. But we've all been driven to the digital platforms, and I know many of you we've met there on our Facebook page, on our Twitter handles, and a lot of mail we've been receiving from you, and we've been interacting. Well, many of you have been asking, BigJoe, where are you? BigJoe and your BigJoe Corner, where are you? You're missing in action. BigJoe has not been missing. BigJoe has been enjoying the world of sports as usual. BigJoe has been following the Euros. You've seen the entertaining games we've been watching. We've been watching the Wimbledon. We've been watching Formula One, the Grand Prix. It is no longer about Hamilton, but many others have come into play. So BigJoe is active. But remember, the other angle to BigJoe Corner, life and sports. We shall leave the hot action and come and focus on life and sports in the current circumstances. So, I've gotten so many questions. Simply put, where are you, BigJoe? BigJoe is around, holed up somewhere in a corner, following sports and thinking through. Well, I'm looking at the questions that were sent to me, and they're asking me about reflections on life and everything. I thought about it. There's so many things we've been taking for granted. There's so many things we thought were very important. But then I thought it's probably not, that's not everything. What is more important right now are the things we've been ignoring. So it has sent me thinking and appreciating the beautiful road that runs ahead of you as you drive in that comfortable car or ride on that border, the greenery you see on the side, the rolling hills you see on the side, the tea plantations you see, the forests you see, the wildlife you see, the people you see, the fruits, the oranges, the tomatoes, the beautiful colors they display out there. I started thinking about life and sports, and I appreciate it. So I miss that bit. I miss the road trip going up country and the things you see along the way, and that is the focus now of this very production. What does BigJoe miss in this corner? That's what I miss, Jonathan. And trust me, upon going back, a lot of focus will be on that. BigJoe corner will be bringing that to you. COVID has taught us to appreciate the communal aspect of humanity, of mankind, family, the meaning of family. They need to provide for each other. They need to protect each other. They need to share important moments. They need to have social assurance. When you travel on these roads, for example, I'll give you one very good example. You will find in certain locations in Uganda, if you've been to Western or Eastern or even the Karuma Road, you always find clusters, families of chimpanzees on the road. These are not just, they don't come there because they want you to see them. They come there, God bless them, for them to give you a few lessons to mankind. Mankind knows quite a bit, but many times we oversee certain things that probably we don't know, and nature is there to provide us these lessons. So when you see these clusters of chimpanzees, you will see very interesting scenarios. They have a social structure. There's the alpha male, there's the mother, there's the big children, there's the babies. You'll see things that are like communal living. You'll see things like providing for each other. You'll see things like social protection. You'll see the male protecting the other. So in COVID times, I think we've gotten to draw a lesson that in these wild animals, we call them wild because they're not us, but probably we could be more wild than they are. They've given us lessons to appreciate, lessons to pick on, even long after the lockdown is over or COVID is over. We'll get to learn and see how these animals behave and probably pick an inkling of an idea that we need to go back to the basics of nature. Then also, I always think that every opportunity we go through is a learning experience, is an opportunity to teach that those that may not have seen, those that may not have been that exposed the way you are, maybe they've not been that lucky, maybe they don't have the resources, maybe the opportunities didn't come around, but also maybe to teach the younger generations that come after you. Many of the things we know or have been exposed to, a certain generation placed us there, facilitated us, taught us, disciplined us. So maybe at a certain point it's also your turn to train, to engage, to educate, to guide. So I miss those moments when you go to a certain part of the country, say Eastern Uganda, in Mbale. You have a child who has never seen Mbale, has never seen Mount Elgon. Those moments where you teach and educate them. if you go to the villages, I know many of our fans, or most Ugandans are villages. We've taken your children, most of our children are urban-based kids. They're thinking this urban exposure they've had is linked to the urban aspects. But the other side where we take them to the rural side, we teach them the dynamics of the rural side, the foundations of the rural side, the activities that go on there, how to give a helping hand, how to get involved in certain activities, whether you're building, whether it is farming, or communal talks, or cooking, or preparing events, or meetings. So I miss that opportunity to teach and engage the things that I was taught and the things that I need to pass on to the younger generation. So that COVID lockdown has denied me that opportunity. And of course, all this is embedded in what we call sports tourism. I think coming back after lockdown, when we're free to move, I think that will be one of the foundations BigJoe will be looking at. Well, there are many questions, but everything is wrapped into the sports tourism.
What would you advise a younger Joe? I assume here you mean a younger version of me, probably 16, 17. I would tell them to be more adventurous in their self-discovery journey. I think I grew up in the conservative times. It was more of academics and less of self-discovery. But here I am, I'm not complaining. But if I were to go back to my age of about 15, 14, I would encourage myself to go to be more adventurous on my God-given talents. Finally, BigJoe Corner fans, thank you for keeping this forum active. The interest, the inquisitiveness, the engaging. BigJoe appreciates this, and I close by saying thank you to Sportus, the production team. BigJoe Corner is a subsidiary of Sportus Africa Limited. They have tracked me, always come around, always try to come up with something for our fans and everybody that follows and loves Sportus, our perspective, life and sports. I thank you, Sportus Africa production team. You're the big thing in the sports production in this country. For our fans and our viewers, please subscribe our links below and become a regular member of this family. Thank you very much. BigJoe.